Okay, hi everyone. Welcome back. My name is Elizabeth, and this is going to be our second chakra sound bath. So if you missed the last two we've done, we've been focusing on the first one we did for this. We went through chakra information, and then we had a general balancing. Last week we looked at the root chakra, and tonight we're going to be looking at the sacral chakra. So let me just check my mic's on. Okay. Sorry. So if you haven't been here before, or if you're watching on the replay, the things that you're going to need a little bit later, but not necessarily now, are headphones. So important. They will bring you, the sound will be better and the vibrations actually will be better. But if you don't have headphones, you will still get the same benefits. If you want to have a nice light blanket over you, I know it's a bit warm, and that's a good thing to have. And if you want to have candles or a salt lamp or oils, go for it. If you've got a pen and a piece of paper or a notebook lying around, that might help you a little bit later if you want to do that. So this week I'm going to speak a little bit quicker, even though I know I speak quite quick, because I want to do more on the sound this week. So I'm going to get pretty much straight into it. If anything doesn't make sense, either go back to the previous sound baths or drop me a message. I'm happy to discuss things. Okay, so we're going to start sitting, or you can lie down for this. This is just the education part about the chakra. So your eyes can be open. We're not starting the sounds. So the sacral chakra is your second chakra, and this one is situated 2 to 3 inches below your belly button, and it's back against the spine, or your chakras are up against the spine. But it's 2 inches below. Oh, hi Laura. Oh, I'm getting comments this time. Hi. So it's 2 inches below. And the colour is orange. So anytime you're ever trying to do some visualization with any of the chakras, knowing the colour is really helpful. And the element that it rules is water. And when I tell you what it governs, that's going to make loads of sense. So it governs your feelings, it governs your relationships, it governs joy, and it's also in charge of creativity, happiness. So water, when you say that, it does actually make a lot of sense. And the normal things will block this chakra. So anxiety, if you have a trauma, if you have some stress, that can block any of your chakras. But the main things that are going to block this one are if you deny yourself a creative pursuit, if you suppress your emotions, or if you're perhaps not really in touch with them, as in they're very much out of control, or if you feel any guilt or shame about something that you've done somewhere in your life, okay? And although it's not nice to go back to some of those times, the healthiest thing you can do is go back, revisit what you feel guilty or ashamed about, let it go. Because until you do it, it will sit and it will influence your thought patterns and behaviours. And this chakra most commonly is linked to age 2 to 3. So if you think about a 2 to 3-year-old, okay, think about them, they're so in touch with their emotions. When they're happy, they're happy. When they're sad, they're sad. They are not ashamed to show how they feel. And I'm often quite confined with their emotions. Think about a 2 to 3-year-old. They get the pain out. They just create something. They build things and then they just smash it down and build something else because it makes them happy. So this is when this chakra is really formed. So also, if you, in a moment, identify as having an imbalance, think back to when you were aged 2 to 3. Were you encouraged with your emotions, or did you maybe come from a home where you didn't talk about them? Did you come from perhaps a strict home where you weren't that creative? Look at age 2 to 3 and how it may have impacted you later in life. Okay, there's the intro. So let's look at signs that you've got a balanced chakra, okay, balanced sacral chakra. So you'll be really balanced in your emotions. You will generally be happy. Most of the time, you'll get out of bed on the right side of the bed. You will be very in touch with your emotions. So you'll be able to identify how you feel address it and let it go or work through it. And you won't be ashamed to have conversations with people. You'll have very balanced relationships with other people. So that could be an intimate relationship, or it could be a friendship, or it could be with a parent or a sibling or a child. There won't be control in there. You will just show up as you with boundaries, and they will show up and respect your boundaries. You'll like change. You'll embrace it. If it's time to change, you'll go with it. You'll have a creative outlet. You'll know what you like to do, what brings you happiness, what brings you joy, and you'll just go and do it. You'll prioritize finding happiness for yourself, no matter what other duties you've got going on in your life. Anything else? And you'll be quite flexible. You'll be quite flexible. So again, similar to change, but you'll be able to go with the flow. Nothing will really shock you. So an imbalance. Okay, so this is a general imbalance. This isn't if you've got excess or deficient. So just listen to this to see if you've got an imbalance. You may have anxiety and depression if you like to sit in the low chakra. So anxiety and depression are good signs. Fluctuating emotions. So if you are happy one day, sad the next, angry, if you just can't get them under control, and by control I don't mean suppress them, but if you don't even know what's tipping you over the edge, like everything's tipping you over the edge, right? That's going to be an imbalance. If you just don't really know what you like to do, or you can't find your zest for life, that's going to be one as well. You might be a little bit manipulative, which these are hard things to address, but you know, you might manipulate because you want people to stay with you because your boundaries aren't great. Hormones. I have some things going on with hormones. Trust issues. Do you struggle to trust? And addictions can sit here. So that doesn't need to be a really extreme addiction. So, you know, can't stop eating at night, maybe. Need to drink something when you start to feel your emotions. Often the addiction will come in, or a dependency is probably a better way to call it, will come in when you're avoiding addressing your emotions, okay? So think about, have you got any habits that you repeatedly do to avoid things? Okay. So overactive. So if you're overactive, you might overindulge. Oh, I want to say something. My boyfriend, who's my quality control guy, who watches every week, said last week, oh, but I identified with some of those traits, but not all of them. You might not identify with them all. One or two is all you need to have an imbalance. You might identify with all of them, okay? You might overindulge. You might overshare. You've ever had that? You meet someone and you just, this verbal diarrhea? Oversharing, okay? You might be a bit dramatic, all right? Which I know we all think is funny sometimes, but that it could be a sign you've got an imbalance here. Fluctuating moods, we've spoken about that. Poor boundaries. You just poor boundaries with people. People don't maybe treat you the way you want to be treated, or maybe you don't treat them the way you would like to really treat them. There's no mutual respect. You know, maybe people are asking you questions that they shouldn't really ask, and you're talking about asking them questions you shouldn't really ask. Poor boundaries. Might be unforgiving. You might like a bit of a gossip, might be a bit judgmental. And for this one, if you're finding you're overactive here, go back to last week and redo your root chakra as well as doing this week, because the only way to pull that energy down and ground you is to have a strong root chakra. So underactive. Underactive, you're going to have very little zest for life. You are going to have no creative outlet. You're not even going to know where to start. So if I say to you, oh, do you like to dance? Do you like to sing? Don't really know. Don't know where to start. You're probably not going to know what really makes you. If I said to you, what do you love to do? You might struggle to answer that question. Low mood, low energy, jealous. Jealous can sit here, a little bit jealous of other people. Timid, shy, hide yourself in social situations. So they're general signs. I'm sure I've got them all for you. Yeah. So physical symptoms, any of these are going to show it. Lower back pain. So anywhere in the lower back, anything to do with the genitals, okay, or the reproductive system. So cysts, things like that, UTIs, anything going on with your bladder or your kidneys. And if you find yourself, you get dehydrated a lot, could have an imbalance here as well. So activities for this chakra that you can practice to open up. First one is going to be listening to the sounds, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. Let me just check my timer. Okay, I'm doing well. I'm speaking really fast, sorry. Water. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of fruit juices, so orange juices, or make yourself smoothies with mangoes and oranges in there as well. Swimming. Now, obviously, right now we can't go to the pool, but if you can go and you can get in a river, you can pedal about, you could do some open air swimming. That's going to help. So, doing something really creative is going to help you. So, painting, singing, dancing around your kitchen, writing, cooking. Just make your dinner and make it fun. Find a way to do something creative. Can you go in the garden and pick some flowers and put them together and put them in your kitchen and make them look beautiful? Something creative. Have you got a little bit of time on your hands at the moment? Can you move furniture around in one of the rooms and make it look pretty? That is still a creative outlet. And if you're struggling, if you're saying, oh God, but I've got, I'm with the kids, and when they're painting, paint with them. Find a way to slot it into your day. Sing in the shower. Just get creative with it. Get creatively. Self-care is quite good. And last week, the root chakra loved self-care as well, but this is a different one. So if you're going to have a bath, you don't run the bath and get in it. This week, you're going to run the bath, you're going to light some candles, and you're going to find happiness in doing that for yourself. If you're putting a face mask on, do it with care. So work on the relationship with yourself, because it's all about relationships with others and with yourself. And it's about the love and the respect you show yourself as well. So self-care is a big one. Look at your relationships. This is a harsh one, but if you have got some toxic people in your life, get rid of them. That was harsh, wasn't it? But just clean out the closet. You don't need to have, you don't need to accept poor treatment. You accept, you are worthy of good relationships and of love from other people around you. So if there's some toxic things, toxic habits, toxic people, they need to go. Now look at your boundaries. Have a look at, do you have balanced relationships with people? And the biggest one that I found to be the most effective with this chakra is self-exploration. It's also the hardest thing to do. Sit down with yourself, have a look at maybe some relationships or some of these imbalances that you're seeing, and ask yourself, where's it coming from and what's my part in it? And why have I done that? Why did I behave like that? And get to the root of it. If you can get to the root of it, you'll be able to change it quite easily. So look at yourself over the next week. Last one, no, I'll give you two more. Play like a kid. So if you have kids, just put all your tasks away, forget about them, leave the house a mess, don't worry about it, and just get down on the floor and play and forget about anything. Just have a good time. That's a great one. And the last one I'm going to give you, because I've got a few on here, is talk about your feelings. So if you usually don't, go and talk to someone about it this week. Phone someone up, sit down with someone and explore how you feel and get it out in the open. So they are the activities you can do. So next week, we're going to be moving up to the solar plexus. So I encourage you to try some of those this week. If you want to talk about them more, just message me. But if you can do a few of those this week, that'll help you a lot. Now we're going to talk about essential oils. So just like every chakra, there's loads of oils that can help this chakra, but most of them are very floral. So if you can get your hands on rose essential oil, clary sage essential oil is nice for hair. Cardamom is very nice for hair as well. Citrusy things like neroli and orange are also beautiful for this chakra. So if you've got any of those around, you can use those. And what you can do with them is either diffuse them. In the room, I've got a little diffuser here. You can put them in your bath, or you could give yourself like a lower back or a lower abdomen massage. But just smelling them is going to do loads and loads and loads. And I'm going to tell you about clary sage today. I'm just going to tell you about one a week because I'm still watching the timer. So clary sage is really nice for women. It's nice for men as well, but it's particularly nice for women. It balances your mood and it really stabilizes it, and it's fantastic for your hormones. If you're struggling with your hormones, you really should get clary sage. Even if you're not struggling with the chakra, you should get clary sage. And it helps you to feel really hopeful, to open your mind to new opportunities, to embrace change, and it calls in imagination and creativity, all the things you want in this chakra. And it's really soothing as well. It's just really comforting and nurturing. So that's an oil to try. If you've got the other ones and you don't know what they're good for, just ask and I'll let you know. And then crystals. So carnelian, I'm going to talk to you about, but anything orange, carnelian, sunstone, amber, citrine is also nice, although it's a little bit more yellow, and moonstone is beautiful here, but carnelian, which is a lovely orange crystal, and these are so affordable, guys. They're just a couple of quid, so carnelian's a nice one to have around. Causing joy, courage, vitality. It brings a zest for life back. It just brings you energy. It brings you hope. It will also help you be more creative, and it does help you make changes. So if you're struggling to make changes, if you really, really don't want to move on things, this could be the guy that could do it for you. Okay, so that's all the information. I know I rushed through it, but now I'm well on time to give you the most beautiful sound bath. So I'm just going to move my notes out of the way, but if you've got a pen and a paper near you right now, I want you, for 2 minutes, I'm just going to move my stuff around and get it in position, and I want you to answer this question for yourself, okay? No one's going to ask you, it's just for you. Ready? So this timer is starting now. How can I bring more joy into my life this week? Go. And if you don't have a pen and paper, just talk out loud to yourself or think about it. But you need to have something that you're going to do over this week. Just do another minute. Keep going. If you're finding it hard, just start anywhere. One little thing you can do, only a minute. Sing in the shower. Do something that's different with your hair. Try new lipstick. That's creative. Okay, so hopefully, turn that. Let me know if you could hear that. I had like some background music on, but I just realised that might not have been loud enough. So let me know if you could hear it, otherwise I'll make it louder next time. So hopefully you came up with an idea. Again, if you need some ideas, just start basic. Just think about something random and give it a go. I've gone with singing. I'm going with singing this week. So I am going to give you a quick test of every sound you're going to hear this week. There are 2 new ones coming in this week for you to mix it up, just to check that your headphones are the right volume. So it's headphone time. Okay, so headphones in. You're going to hear the bowls. Lucy, hi Dee, hi Kristen. Oh, you could hear it. Okay, I'll go louder next week. Thank you. So you're going to have the bowls. You're going to hear a different singing bowl this week. Too quiet. Okay, hi Elder Lucy. I'll get rid of it now. Rain stick, and then 2 new sounds. So check this. You might need to check your volume on your headphones with these. These are a much higher pitch. So just check that it's not too high pitched on your headphones for that. And then my favourite. Got a wooden frog coming in. This is going to be later to bring you out, okay? I'm acting like it's just me that wants this one on. Okay, they're your noises, so just shut your headphones. And you can start getting comfortable. So you're going to lie down. If you haven't been here with me before, if you have, you know, lie down, blanket on if you would like. And someone sent me a message after last week about something about 10 minutes in about an instrument. Your eyes should be closed. No peeking. You are supposed to be just listening. I would turn lights off. I would probably put your candles out now. Don't look at me until later on when I bring you back out. So the notes I'm going to be playing tonight, the main one will be D, and this is going to harmonize and release your sacral chakra. So if any thoughts come to you during the sounds, just store them away for later because you might need them. And then I'm going to be playing you a chord a little bit later that calls in joy, and it helps you to be in a more creative space. So it actually has an impact on your brain in a good way. Okay, so get ready. I'm going to be starting in about 30 seconds, so eyes closed. Enjoy the journey. I can't wait to see you at the end. So when you're ready, you can come back to the room and keep your eyes closed if you like. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the peace, and give yourself a thank you that you showed up and you did something really, really wonderful for yourself today. So the impacts of a sound bath will keep working. So tonight, when you're resting, lots of lovely changes will be happening. The bowls particularly can help to trigger your body's self-healing. So make sure you have a nice early night. So if you want to roll onto your side, you can. And open your eyes, you can, but you don't have to. You can just stay with your eyes shut. Or open them and lie on your back, whatever you want. So I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed doing it. Oh, I see Madge there. Oh, Madge saying it was awesome with the headphones. Oh, amazing. Okay, good. I think it's much better with headphones. Make sure you drink lots and lots of good quality water. Now, I would limit the blue light, I would limit the TV, I would limit all other influences, and I would just go and bask in, I don't know, how pleasant all of this is, just basking yourself. Next week we'll be doing the solar plexus, so we'll be coming up. If you think there's anyone that would like this as well, please let them know. I'd love to keep sharing the sounds with people. If you have any questions about anything covered today, just drop me a message. I love talking about it. And I think that's it. And yeah, just make sure you put your creativity, your joy, your feelings first for the next week. And if you find yourself, you know, on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, just stop yourself, see if you can figure out what's got you started on that. It's absolutely fine. I'll see you here next week for the next chakra. I wanted any feedback. If you like the frog, let me know if you didn't like the frog, and how the forks, if you like the forks, if they translated well, let me know as well. And if I'm going to keep doing these every Thursday. I'll be doing these every Thursday permanently, even after lockdown lifts. So, yeah. Okay, well, thanks for coming. That's the end of me talking so much. And I will see you next week. All right, have a nice evening. Bye.